Okay, first let me say that I didn't say it on the first video, but I'm saying it now. Uh I went hoarse the other day and my voice has came back and it's more raspy than usual. Those who know me know that my voice is raspy already. But because I went hoarse the other day, yeah, it's more raspy than usual. Now that I had that out the way, I'm going to say this. I've already touched in the first video on the coming together of Baltimore, which I really believed was such a phony act upon Baltimore. There are, like I said, I do not take anything away from it because there are certain neighbors, there are certain neighborhoods, there are certain communities where they wish you would drop trash on their floor, I mean, on their ground. They wish you would come into their neighborhood with some negativity. But there are very few and far between neighborhoods like that. Um, what I wanted to touch on now is the fact that I found it really hilarious, actually, how a line of black men stood in front of the police yesterday to somewhat protect them from the kids. But if just think for a minute, if it is done the other way around on a regular basis, if these black men are in the streets telling these kids go to school, get off the street, uh, McDonald's, Burger King, Popeyes, Kentucky Fried, whoever are hiring, then it would be less likely. Now I know these kids are used to fast money and things like that, but that's on a parent level. I'll get to that later. But to have someone there trying to offer you a positive point of view instead of the first person who comes your way, which is usually a gang member or whatever the case may be. Then let me stop right there. I cannot say anything. I have bad issues with gangs. I have good issues with gangs. The majority of my family is one specific gang, so I really can't say anything negative or positive. I can say some negatives, but as far as the positive go, I can wholeheartedly say that besides they really do treat each other like family, for the most part. Now, when they go to court or whatever the case may be, that's where the negatives come in. A lot of times, they turn their back on each other and things like that. But back to my original point, it comes down to a point that if you black men stood in front of Mondawmin, stood outside of schools, stood on the corners instead of the drug dealers being on the corners, saying, "Shorty, go run this for me," things would be a lot better in Baltimore City. I really have so many issues with what I saw on the news yesterday. I really wanted to come down there with a big sign that says all of this is bullshit. And on a regular basis, regardless of whether or not you want to admit it, whoever's watching this video, Baltimore lives in negativity. There are some, myself and a couple of other people, who will try to help however they can, wherever they can. And if they can't, they'll point you in the direction of someone who can help you. For the most part, um, no, you don't see that. You don't get that. It's never there. So what I saw yesterday watching the news, being from Baltimore, I'm in utter shock right now. Because if the stuff that I saw on the news yesterday was going on a regular basis, the line that I kept hearing everyone say, yes, all the politicians say Baltimore is so much better than that. We are more than that. Yes, if what was seen by national television was seen on an everyday basis, these kids, some of these adults, would be in such a better place such a better spirit to be able to look further. Look how long people been getting high. You would think by now people stop getting high, but it's more and more junkies out here than ever because life. Certain people then can't. From me studying to be the counselor that I wanted to be, I actually learned that I been through the problems that I've been through and never turned to a drug. I was a teenage alcoholic to my heart desire, but never turned to a drug. Won't even smoke weed. And considering my background, that's a feat for me. But in all reality, it boils down to just simply don't fake for the national news. Because not only did the politicians fake for the national news, but the majority, not all, but the majority of the ones that was out on Pennsylvania Avenue do not clean up the neighborhoods on a regular basis. And it hurt me more to see so many out there shoveling, with the push brooms, picking up trash, passing out waters, even having the children do it. That same water that you would usually have would be sold on North Avenue for $1. Be on Martin Luther King Boulevard for $1. Or whatever the case may be. Not, okay, it's 100 degrees outside. I'm going to just go ahead and pass some water out because, I got a couple of extra. I can go ahead and do that. That's usually Baltimore. Baltimore is usually out selling water. And I guarantee you, even though I was not there, there are 7 known people who walk around Baltimore City and sell waters out the movable coolers. I guarantee you they was around there somewhere. If they wasn't, I will be in other shop. Now, like I said, I was not there, but at the same time, yes, Lord, I can very much guarantee you that they was around. That's it for this video. I'm a hit y'all in a few with the rest of my topics.